Hi everyone, welcome to the stream. This is Twinning with Rice and Cookie. I'm Rice.
And I'm Cookie, and today we are going to be beating Fire Emblem, the Sacred Stones. It feels like it's been forever. Woo!
It has. It's been almost all of coronavirus.
Is that true? Yeah, it is true.
That's when we started playing.
Yeah. So,
and you've been doing a great job.
Yeah. So, to catch up, I played because we had finished chapter 17 last time. And so this time, like between streams, I did chapter 18 and chapter 19. So now we just have the final chapter, chapter 20. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, well, you're a real champ.
Oh, yeah. I was literally just playing this like 5 minutes ago to finish the last chapter.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So when you told me that you were running late, I'm like, perfect, because I really wanted to finish this.
I felt really bad for pitting all those cherries because I'm like, well, like we're supposed to be streaming. I'm like, but I really want to pit these so that later I don't have to. So that went out. And, I did do the straw and bottle method. And it does work really well so I had tried it a couple of times ago when I had cherries.
Yeah.
But the issue was that when I first did it, I didn't score the other side.
Okay.
But that's the key, because if you score the opposite side and then you poke through for the pit, it comes right out.
I see.
When we...
Sorry, Argus said I should turn down the volume for you.
Oh. So when we pit tons of cherries, we will know how to do it.
I see. That's good. Because it's a metal straw, right? Because you bought some metal straws?
It's a pack of 4, so we could both be doing it at the same time. Whoa.
I meant to tell you.
No, I was going to say something else.
Okay, that's fine. Go for it.
I don't remember what it was now. Darn it. Okay, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, because I had told you about,
Oh, wait, I remember.
Okay.
When I pick cherries, should I pick all sweet cherries or some tart cherries a combo?
I don't think I like tart cherries.
Maybe I'll sample some when I'm there.
I mean, it could be good for doing something like, with the applesauce, you want to get some tart ones to add more variety in the flavor or something. Because maybe it's well, what are you going to do with the cherries? What is your goal?
Well, I want to just I want to can it with the honey syrup or a watered down maple syrup.
Mm-hmm.
And really, I just want it for with yogurt or as a ice cream topper. I'm not planning on doing pie or anything. So I don't know. Maybe I'll buy some of both. I don't know. I'll sample some.
Okay, well, I think just sweet for me, because I'm gonna go pick raspberries and blackberries for rice. We're doing a little trade.
Yep. And I have some jalapenos for raspberry jalapeno jam.
I've still been looking for recipes, and I think I can just do pretty much any old raspberry jam, and then you just add the chipotles, jalapenos, whatever. So you add those, but then I think you have to add some extra lemon juice. I don't know. I'm trying to find an exact recipe so there's no health risks associated with it. I'm having a really hard time finding a recipe.
Well, I saw some recipes. Some of them called for boatloads of sugar. There was one that used less, but it was still a lot.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what we wanted to do. But I think from the recipes I saw, it looks like none of them called for pectin.
Yeah, which is good because I know pectin's fine, but it's just something I don't have, and I don't want to really go out and buy it.
So I think maybe it's kind of like apples, and maybe it has enough natural pectin.
Yeah.
Whereas some fruits, I know blueberries have none or hardly any.
Yeah.
So maybe raspberries are just, better in that sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was thinking I might strain out some of the seeds because like raspberries have a lot of seeds. And it's like I like some seeds, but I think I want to strain out some of them when I make the jelly, jam, whatever.
Yeah. I was pretty sure I saw a recipe. But I thought it was blackberries that had more seeds.
Well, they both have a lot.
Well, we're considering going blueberry picking. Probably not this weekend, but maybe like the following weekend.
Okay.
Because I really like the blueberry farm we go to.
I do too. That's where I went last time. It's
Did
organic.
Did you go this year already?
Yeah, I went last Friday right after work. Didn't I tell you about it?
Oh, yeah, you did. You did.
Yeah, I went and I was like, this is great. And then I got there and I picked for like 2 hours and I wanted to pick more. I feel like I could just go forever. But then they were closing at 6. So then, and they even like told everyone, we're closing. I'm like, no, but like I just found a good patch of blueberries. So that was sad.
Did you freeze most of them?
I did, yeah. And I kept like a quart fresh just to eat.
Yeah, we usually freeze our blueberries too.
Yeah. But they're good.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're not quite as sweet as other years. But also some bushes had like a lot of blueberries, but then I found that other bushes that had like fewer blueberries, I thought those blueberries were better. So I highly encourage you when you go to eat the blueberries like a lot as you go, because
that's the only way to do it.
I found that some I liked better than others. Because in general, I only eat them when I like pick one. I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have picked this one because maybe it's not quite ripe enough, or maybe it's overripe. That's usually the only time I eat them. But I was like eating them all the time when I was picking on Friday. So
that's what I did with strawberry picking.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta make sure you pick the best. I just wish it wasn't so far away.
I know. Because even when I was driving there, I was like, this is pretty far. And then for the raspberry farm I'm going to, that's like even farther. So
I know. So how far does it take, or like how long does it take you to drive there?
I think it's like 40 minutes. So it's still not like totally outrageous, but it is farther than I want to drive. But it's really cool because they've got like red raspberries. They've got like the golden kind of raspberry. They've got black raspberries. They've got blackberries, and then I think there might be one other kind of raspberry in there. They've got good variety.
I think for me, don't get me blackberries. I don't really care for them.
Really?
I mean, the thing is, I like them, but the seeds are much more.
They're like bigger
noticeable.
Or something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, I'd be up for trying any of the different colors.
Yeah. So I think that maybe right now only 2 of the colors are in season. Like they have different ripening times.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just get a variety.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know the cherry farm I'm going to, they have a whole bunch of different kinds of cherries, but I don't know which are going to be in season when I go. Because the other cherry farm I was looking at, actually 2 other cherry farms I was looking at, they're both closed for the season. They're all done. But the place that I'm going, they are open through the end of the month. So, but yeah, it's going to take me about 40 minutes to get there too.
Okay.
Only opposite direction.
Right.
But maybe I'll stop by the cidery and get some cider. And maybe I'll stop by that little popcorn stand if they're open and get some popcorn.
You should.
So actually, because I know they're open like when I had gone picking on the Saturday afternoon, or when I went by Saturday afternoon, but I think, because if we're going Thursday or Friday evening, I don't know if the popcorn stand will be open.
Yeah.
Maybe I can find that out right now, just to prepare myself while I'm thinking about it. But yeah, it's just so good. The thing is, I would consider getting some for you, but I don't think it's as good the next day.
Okay, yeah. That's fair.
Yeah, they're only open on Saturdays and Sundays. That's a bummer. It's so good. Maybe that's enough of a reason to go on Saturday or Sunday. No, I don't think so. I thought it'd be really convenient to have all of the cherries for Thursday or Friday so that come the weekend, we don't have to worry about picking and we can just go right in and can.
Yeah, that's 'cause as far as doing the raspberry jam goes, that's kind of what I figured. And like I had even read you can just keep it in the fridge for like a day before you actually can it, or like 2 days.
So you're gonna make the jam ahead of time too?
I might, but I don't know if that would affect because I don't have any of the jalapenos, so I don't know. I just don't know right now.
I would probably wait to do it right before you can because when you can, you would want the jam to be hot.
Right. I mean, you can reheat it.
I know. It's just like an extra step.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for that. Oh, but I wanted to tell you for dinner today I made salmon burgers. Using some of the Sitka salmon. It's so good. I think you'd like it too.
I probably would.
And I made, because I know you had some of the fish that I made for 4th of July, but I found a really good recipe that I made last week, and it was like my favorite of all of the fish we've eaten since we've gotten it. Well, of at least the whitefish variety, I thought this was the best way to prepare it. So, if ever you come back over and we're having fish, maybe you'll get to try that amazing, because it was just like so good.
Okay.
And I think Steve Tiger thought I was crazy because he's like, it always tastes good. I'm like, no, but this is like especially good. It had like a really good texture to it.
Okay.
Buying supplies.
Not buying, just because this is my supply. So just choosing what I want to take into battle.
Oh, gotcha.
Because yeah, usually I like to do this before the stream, but I couldn't because I just finished the previous battle. So
I should have taken even longer with my cherries.
Maybe, but that's okay. It's no problem.
And you wanted to can on Sunday? Is that right?
Yeah. Well, so on Saturday, I'm hoping to go to the beach because I've been wanting to go to the beach for a while. And it's finally like, it's going to be hot, but not rainy. Because I feel like we've had, on the weekends, it's like either so hot or it's like hot and rainy. So
yeah, looks like Saturday and Sunday are both going to be hot and sunny.
Yeah.
Well, and by hot, I mean like not the absurd hot that we've had. I mean, it's still going to be hot, 83 and 84.
Yeah.
But so not the 90s.
I thought that it was supposed to rain or thunderstorm on Sunday.
I thought I had seen that too, but when I just looked at it, it looked clear. Maybe there's like a chance. Let's see. Looks like it might rain Sunday night.
Okay.
But I mean, you can't really trust the weather too much.
Nope.
But yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday all look dry. And that's the thing with Thursday because, well, see, now it's showing rain all day. So I'm thinking I'll probably end up picking on Friday.
Okay.
But the thing is, because Friday's the day I have to go into work, so I can't even leave as early as I would like to.
Yeah.
So maybe it would be better to just pick on Saturday anyways, because...
That's why I'm doing a half day on Friday.
Yeah. Maybe that's a good idea.
I liked the sound of it. It's just a relaxing thing to do. Because I will say, I liked picking on Friday afternoon last week. But I figured since like the farm I'm going to this week is farther away, and the fact that I also want to pick like a lot of berries. So I wanted to make sure I just had the time. And plus, I'm like, what else am I doing with my vacation time right now?
True.
So,
well, we're planning on going to New England and doing a New England road trip, and that would use a good amount of days.
Yeah.
And whenever we go to the Adirondacks, that'll be a couple days too. But and I don't even have to take a full half day. I could take like a few hours.
Yeah.
I could work like 6 hours straight and then leave.
Yeah, I mean, also your your second half of the day is only 3 hours, so it's less than half a day. So.
Well, no, but that's the thing too, because you can work legally 6 hours without a lunch.
You can, and I have done that before, but then I was later told that it's kind of frowned upon to like, because I had started working early on certain days, and then like, so I could leave a little bit early so that I could go to like a doctor's appointment or something. Then I was told, no, you're really supposed to stick to your scheduled hours.
Well, I was still gonna get in at the normal time.
I see.
I was just saying I would do like 7:30 to 1:30. So then that's 6 hours, and then I would leave.
I see.
And just take, an hour and a half of vacation instead of like 2 or 3 hours. I guess instead of 2 hours. I don't know. I'll think about it. But I'm guessing it probably will be Friday when I go.
Okay, yeah.
Pick some cherry, unless I decide to go on Saturday. We went paddleboarding last weekend. And it was kind of a big ordeal.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because, so we went to one of the Finger Lakes, the westmost one. Just south of Rochester. So like it took a while to drive there, for one thing. So it took us like an hour and 15 minutes actually. It was even longer than that. So we were driving, and when we got there, the instructions I had about parking lots was kind of wrong.
Okay.
Because it said like, oh, there's this parking lot like right at the park, and then there's another parking lot, and it said it was a 1/4 mile from this one intersection. And we passed this little fishing parking lot. And I'm like, no, there should be another one. Because the fishing parking lot wasn't that far from the intersection. So I'm like, no, there should be another one. So we just kept driving. And there were just all these houses. And it's like, nope, none of these are, like, there's no parking lot here. So we're like, okay, let's go to the beach park, or like the park parking lot. But then we ended up going the wrong way. And we found this other parking lot by this basketball court. So we ended up just parking there. So like the parking was kind of awful. And then we pull the paddleboard out, and our hose, or the hose to the pump is like holes and stuff in it. No. Well, so like over the past couple years since we've had the paddleboard, like the pump hose is a piece of junk. So it's gotten so many holes, and so like we have this tape that we wrap around it, but like there's still leaks. And so Sea Tiger, he just like kept pumping, and then we tried to like find the holes and wrap more of the tape around it. So like that was a whole ordeal. And then once we finally got it all pumped, we're like, okay, now we got to carry it to the water. It's like that wasn't too bad. That was fine. A little further of a walk than I'd like to do, but whatever.
Yeah.
And then we get to the water. And so once we both make it onto the paddleboard, which that took a little bit of finagling too, because the paddleboard kept wanting to float away.
Yeah.
But so then we get out on the water, and the whole time we're paddling up current, and there's a lot of current. There was a lot of waves. So we like took turns paddling, and sometimes we would get off and jump in the water because it was like a 90-degree day. And like I swam for a little bit, and then Sea Tiger swam for a little bit. But yeah, it was just kind of frustrating. And also there were like motorboats on the lake. So that was bad because they were making the waves even worse. So we decided that probably not the best lake. Also, it was a windy day, also does not help.
Right.
So we decided that next time we want to go paddleboarding, and it's a lake that might have waves, we're gonna look to see what the wind conditions are like. And also we're gonna try and pick more lakes that don't have boat traffic, because boat traffic is just like annoying because they think they like, you know, the whole water's for them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not. Other people use the water too, boat people. So yeah, that was our whole adventure, and we ended up getting home around. Oh, and also, so we drove my Honda that we're replacing, so it has no air conditioning.
Yeah. So, and then it's a 90-degree day. That's not fun.
Yeah, yeah. So we had the windows all the way down, so we couldn't really talk to each other because it was so loud. We couldn't hear the radio because the wind was so loud. So yeah, not the best paddleboard outing.
I see.
But, you know, next time we'll look for the wind. We'll pick the lakes that don't have the boats. Yeah. And hopefully not be paddling upstream the entire time. But at the end, we're like, well, we'll just float back. So,
I mean, I think it's better to start going in the wrong, you know, like against the current, because imagine if you've gone so far like away and then you were so tired and you're like, okay, time to go back, and you're going against the current.
Yeah, so in that respect, it was good. But yeah, it was still just like, because at first both of us were on the paddleboard, and we just weren't going anywhere. And but I will say, because Sea Tiger had his feet in the water. Like, he had his legs dangling in the water. I'm like, no, you're being an anchor. Like, you need to get your feet out of the water. So he did. I can't hear you. So he did get his feet out of the water, and then we were like barely moving. But yeah, it was just kind of a whole ordeal.
I see.
But I mean, the good news is that with every passing week, we're that much closer to getting our new car.
Yeah. Yeah, I was wondering, are you getting a new license plate?
No, you just transfer it.
Because New York got the new license plates now. They're much nicer than those yellow ones.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you didn't know about it?
Maybe I'll Google it.
Yeah, there was like a contest. I think I even told you, and I said, go vote. And
no, you didn't.
I really thought I did.
I would remember that.
I was pretty sure I told you about it like while we were on stream.
June 25th, New York held a contest to select a new license plate design last year. Now the plate is finally hitting the road.
We saw one today out in the wild. It looks nice.
That does look nice.
Yeah.
It looks kind of like our old one.
Yeah.
Why did we switch to the yellow?
Like, why did New York State?
Yeah.
I don't know. It is super ugly.
The new plates will be issued for new vehicle registrations in New York and counties that have depleted their supply of Empire Gold. So I guess if our county still has Empire Gold, you would still get Empire Gold until you got this new Excelsior plate. Registration renewal.
Apparently Excelsior is like the motto of New York State, and it means like ever upward, or, you know, something to that effect.
Yeah. So it says, for registration renewals, vehicle owners have the option to keep their old plates or purchase the new design at an additional charge of $25. But so to keep your old license plate number on your new plates, it would be an additional $20. Well, I don't know when you have to renew your registration. Oh, is that like... It's like when you do your registration, like, is that every year, every 2 years?
Yeah, I think it's every 2 years.
Oh, I want to switch. It looks nice.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah, my new car should be coming sometime in the beginning of August, so we're getting there.
Yeah. I know this summer is like flying by, and you know,
my gosh, it's crazy.
I mean, the fact that there's nothing to do and you just kind of like I don't know, the days keep passing and things are happening, just like not that much.
Yeah. It is definitely a strange year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like these plates. Cool.
Yeah. You might have to wait till your next car though.
No, I could just pay extra with my whatever. My registration. Well, did you have anything interesting last weekend?
Well, yeah. So last weekend, aside from the blueberry picking and then like freezing all of the blueberries, I also on Saturday, me and Argus went to the farmers market, and then there were a bunch of like yard sales on like a whole block. It was like their yard sale weekend. So we went to like maybe 10 yard sales. Just most of them didn't have like that many things. But I was pretty excited because I really like yard sales and I think they're a lot of fun. And so I ended up buying more jars, you know, my favorite thing now.
Yep. We get to use some of them.
Yeah, so the jars I got this time, there's a variety of types, I guess. Like some of them are like the very short jars that are good for like jelly. Some of them are like, you know, regular size jars. So I got jars. The person who was like giving them away, she was, because at first I was like, I only wanted the small ones. And I was like, well, how much if I just take these 3 small ones? And she's like, well, it's $2 for the whole box. And so she's like, please just take all of them. And so I was like, okay, I'll take them all. So
it is a great deal. I got a whole bunch from Mom.
Yeah, she told me that. But the other thing we got was this desk chair. It's nicer than our old one. Huh?
Okay. I was gonna say, is it more comfortable?
Well, so I'm still like getting used to it because the thing that I liked with our old one, we had like one of those like cushion things for your low back. So the thing is, it doesn't really work because like it comes out down here. So like the strap that goes around the chair, it doesn't really work. So that's kind of the downside, but this is a nicer chair, definitely. It's also not quite as squishy as the old one, but I think that's actually kind of a good thing because the other one, it was a little like lopsided because we'd always sit in it the same way. So I think this is a better chair.
That's good.
Yeah. There were also, the person that was selling this chair, they were also selling 2 gumball machines. And I was like, you know what? If they're like $10, $15 max, I would get one of them. But then they were selling them for $25. So
remember we had that gumball machine?
Yeah, so our parents...
Do they still?
Well, so the thing is, we used, like, because our family moved when we were turning 7 years old. So we had a gumball machine at the old house, but then, like, in the process of moving, we think that we might have left it at one of the rental houses.
No, I thought we had it at the new house.
They got a new one.
Oh.
Yeah, so our parents always have a gumball machine. It's not always filled with anything, but...
Do they still have it?
They've got the new one, yeah.
Is it out?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's filled with jelly beans right now.
Well, that's what it was always filled with when we were kids, because I remember I would only eat the orange ones.
Yeah, they're like so much fun, because, I don't know, it makes getting a snack more exciting, because you've got like put in the coin. So yeah, I would have gotten one, but like, we don't really have space for one. Like, I know they don't take up that much space, but I feel like our apartment is kind of like cluttered as it is. But I still would have gotten it if it was cheaper.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like, I'm not seeking one out, but if I come across one, I might buy it.
Right. Sorry, I'm just fixing my camera a little bit.
But after hitting up all these yard sales,
I have this on a different monitor than usual.
I see.
And it's just not cooperating. Okay, maybe.
Well, after we did the yard sales, then I met up with one of my friends from my last job.
Mm-hmm.
We had a picnic. So she picked up a couple sandwiches for us, and then we ate about 6 feet apart on separate blankets, and she brought her cat. It was on a harness and just like wandering around. I was like, oh my gosh, I wish my cat would do this. But so that was pretty great. So yeah, we just kind of hung out there for a few hours, and then I went back home, and I feel like that was kind of the end of my excitement for the weekend. Because, although one other thing, so on Sunday, I had some zucchini from the farmer's market, and I saw a recipe for like a chocolate zucchini cake. So on Sunday, I baked one. And it was kind of like a huge ordeal because, like, so I made the cake and then...
As much as my paddleboarding?
Not as much as your paddleboarding. So I made the cake and then I made the frosting. But the thing is, the frosting, like, did not come out the way I wanted it to. Like, it wasn't, like, fluffy. I guess that's the only way I can describe it. It's, like, not good. Like, it tastes okay, but it's, like, overwhelmingly sweet. And I didn't follow the recipe, by the way, that you sent me. I probably should have because... I followed one that was like online, and I went off recipes because I was like, I think salt will help. And then apparently you're supposed to use salted butter instead of using unsalted butter and adding salt, because then like the texture was never right. And it like, I think it was the salt that ruined it. So it was, and I was very unhappy about it. And I still have like some cupcakes that are in the freezer of this cake and frosting. And I'm just, every time I eat it, I'm like so upset at myself because I don't know. It's just like so not how I wanted it to turn out.
Oh, that's sad.
I know.
Well, what we did was on Saturday, so one of my friends came over and she packed her bike in her car. And so we biked around the neighborhood. On Saturday.
That's nice.
Yeah. And then I was because I told her, I'm like, hey, let's go over to the school, and then I can practice my dismount.
Yeah.
But then I fell.
Oh, well. It's okay.
So, I mean, I didn't actually hurt myself. See, the thing is, the issue is that I was going too slow. And when you go slow on a bike, you know, it's easier to fall off. So, I fell and I ended up doing like a kind of split. Like it was really shocking. I was just like, whoa, how did I end up here? Yeah, so she came over and we biked, and then we just sat outside underneath one of the trees and had a snack. So that was good. And then while we were doing that, Sea Tiger had Colchish over and they played some Magic. And then I thought there was something else. Oh, on Friday night, one of our other friends came over because she's been wanting to play tennis with us because she bought a tennis racket and stuff. So we played some tennis. We went over to the tennis courts and we decided. And then after that, we watched The Mandalorian, and she had never seen Avatar: The Last Airbender.
What? Okay.
So we watched the first 2 episodes of that, and she's like, ooh, I like this show. And we're like, yeah, it's amazing. So we're going to try and make that like our new Friday, thing.
Mandalorian, then Avatar, or just Avatar?
Well, tennis, and then Mandalorian, and then maybe Avatar.
Okay.
Depending on what time it is because she came over, I think around 7. So by the time we went over, we only played tennis for maybe 45 minutes or an hour, something like that. But yeah, and since it's Friday night, it's like, well, we don't really have to wake up early. I just like to wake up early for the farmer's market. So the thing is, I woke up early for the farmer's market, and my egg guy wasn't there, and he was supposed to be there. It was his week, and I was so mad because
That's the whole point of going early.
I know. I even I set my alarm for like 6:45 or something so that I could eat and then get there early enough. And yeah, I kept like circling back, being like, is he here yet? Is he here yet? And he never was. I don't know if he just came later or if he just decided to skip, but whatever. And Waif Wish is here. Waif Wish, it's been forever.
You know, I've been wondering, Waif Wish, where you've been. I was like, maybe she's just not a Fire Emblem fan. I get it.
Maybe she just hates this game.
But...
Well, Waif Wish, I wanted to tell you that I finally read all of the Lunar Chronicles and Heartless, and I really liked Heartless. I mean, I liked all of them, but I thought Heartless was especially good.
I agree, like, because I like all of the Lunar Chronicles, but it's also nice to just read a book that's, like, not part of a series. And also, I just thought, like, because you don't know where it's going to go. Like, you know she's going to become the Queen of Hearts, but, like, you just don't see it coming, you know?
I know. I didn't know it was going to end up like that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I knew he had to die because otherwise there's no way she would become the Queen of Hearts, but... yeah, it was good. I liked it. Oh, and Cookie, I want to tell you, I finished reading the Kyoshi book.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and I saw that the second book, like, literally just came out, like, a couple of days ago.
I know. Argus saw that, too, and he's like, maybe it'll be a birthday present, so...
Well, so I saw that it's available on Libby.
Okay.
So I put in a hold on it, and it said it's going to be, like, 8 weeks.
Okay.
But I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun. Like, as I said, like, the way it's written, it's very, like, it's not super descriptive, I feel. Like, the way they describe things is kind of, like, a pretty quick thing, and then it's, like, on to the next.
Yeah, well, they sometimes go back in time to kind of be like, oh, yeah, and then this happened to, you know, make her prepared for this.
Right.
Kind of thing. But yeah, I thought it was good. And I'm like, oh, good. She's becoming, like, you know, an avatar.
Yeah. They grow up so fast.
I know. But yeah, I thought it was good. So I'm ready for the next one. But yeah. Libby's not. So I was like, well, in this time I have between now and then, I thought I could read. So Mom had given me a book to borrow. It's called We Were the Lucky Ones, and it's a like a World War II book.
Okay,
because you know, Mom's all into her historical fiction.
She is, yeah.
So she let me borrow that. So I'm like, well, I could read that, and then we also have like I only read the first Witcher book. Okay, and we have like the first 4, I think. So I could read the next one. But the thing is, like, because, I mean, I like the Witcher book, but it's a collection of short stories. At least the first 2 books are. I see. It's like, you don't become as attached to the characters because, you know, they're doing...
Right.
I don't know. It's like there's not an overarching plot, so it's not as... it doesn't draw me in as much.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I was pretty excited to finish Kyoshi.
Yeah.
I finished that today.
Yeah, so I finished The Hunger Games. I'm reading Catching Fire.
Okay, nice.
So I had to borrow Catching Fire from the library, but no big deal, I got it. And so, again, like
so you can go in the library?
Yeah. So I went in there, I got the book, I came out. I survived. But yeah, so I got that. I'm maybe like a third of the way through. They have just announced the Quarter Quell. They haven't decided like who's going to be in it yet, but they just said like this is what the theme for this Quarter Quell is.
And Katniss is all upset.
Yeah. Well, it took her a second. Like her mom and her sister like immediately were like, "Oh no!" And then it like took her a while to process it. But the very first sentence in the next chapter is like, "And then I ran" or something because she was freaking out now.
Yeah, poor Katniss. She was, I think, the only one who, you know, it had to be her.
I know. Like, And I was even just thinking, like, what if, like, she and PETA didn't win the previous year? What would they do without, like, a girl candidate from District 12 that was a champion, you know?
Well, they probably wouldn't have considered that as an option for the Quarter Quell.
I don't know. It seems pretty legit. Like, it was on an index card from a box, you know? Like, they gotta follow whatever it says. But, I don't know. They're definitely enjoyable books, you know?
Yeah.
I will say, yeah, she keeps going back and forth about Gale or PETA, Gale or PETA. It's like, come on, you know the right choice. PETA.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so that's fun, too. All these books, you know, they're great.
I guess that's something else I could do. I could reread The Hunger Games.
Yeah, because that new one just came out.
Well, I know that. But I was thinking I might wait to read Hunger Games until, like, I don't even know, in the fall or the winter. Gosh, this year.
I know.
Crazy. Wait, Fish, how have you been holding up? Have you been good?
I know, I hear things down in North Carolina are kind of not great right now. All
I thought
I know
about sending
is,
you guys a letter, but then I never did.
yeah,
But then our parents probably sent you our Christmas card.
it's true.
Because for anyone else who's watching, our parents are notoriously bad about getting their Christmas cards out on time.
But they
So
usually
this
get it
year-
out. I would say they usually get it out in like January. But
Yeah, or
this year,
February.
it's July, so
Yeah.
that's fine.
So yeah, I saved them all. I haven't filed this one away yet, but you know, maybe someday when I'm an old woman, I might want to look back and be like, oh yes, this is what we did in 2019.
It's always kind of annoying because our mom's like, okay, well, what did you do this year? And you're supposed to like tell her, like, it's hard to remember even like what you did over the past year.
Oh yeah.
But then like it is nice because like clearly those are the things that like really pop to your mind of like this was an important thing that happened. So it is nice to have that documented.
It is. And Blossom's here and says Irica on a horse.
I know, yeah, she's been promoted.
That's crazy.
Everybody here has been promoted. They're all grown up now.
Yep. I mean, about time since this is the last battle.
I know, yeah. It had to be done.
So one of my friends had texted me today asking if we were still Fire Embleming. And I'm like, yes. But I think today is the last day. Because he is not a fan of Fire Emblem.
No. It's like, I understand. Like, it's not as fun to watch as other games.
Like Donkey Kong
I know. I love Donkey Kong.
or Mario. The nostalgic games. And we're almost upon our 2-year streaming anniversary.
I know.
Woo, woo.
You know, I played, because I know we were talking about how, like, Overcooked is the thing that we try to play on our gaming anniversary. But, so Argus he's been very, like, hardcore playing games online with his friends. Like, he stays up till, like, 3 in the morning sometimes playing games.
Oh my gosh.
I know. It's crazy.
Crazy.
So anyways, one of his friends recently bought, actually his brother too, they recently bought Overcooked 2 on PC. And so we did play around, or like 2 levels, but they're like the really early ones, you know, of Overcooked 2, where it like takes a long time for them to actually get difficult.
Yeah, it takes like till what, World 3 or 4?
Yeah. But anyways, I still had so much fun playing. I was like, gosh, this game is great. So
I haven't played it in ages because Cassie Tiger likes to play with 4 people, and it's like, well, it's just the 2 of us.
I say any number of people is good.
Except for 1.
Well, except one, yeah, you don't want to do that. Or like the versus mode, like that's not worth it.
Yeah, I've never played 1 player, but I know you have to control both cooks. And
Yeah.
I just don't know if I would want to do that.
Yeah, I agree with you.
But yeah, I think I like playing with 3 or 4. That's what I like.
Yeah, I feel like 3, because I've played with 3 a bit, and I feel like it doesn't do a great job with like, it's like the game is meant for either 2 or 4. Like,
I would agree with that.
The way the levels are set up.
Because sometimes it's just like there's the 2 sections, and if you have a third person, then the one side has 3 or 2 people. 2 versus 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would totally like to play that again sometime.
I know. I wish you had it on PC so that we could play together.
Yeah, wish you had it on PS4.
Yeah, that too.
At the beginning of this whole quarantine thing, social distancing, I played online with one of my friends from college. But the thing is, she said, well, because we were also trying to do because we try and call each other about once a week just to kind of catch up on what we're doing and whatnot. She's also canning a lot this summer.
I was like, well, what else are you going to do?
Yeah. Yeah, so we were trying to do like our catch-up call while we were playing Overcooked, and she's like, I can't do both things at the same time.
No.
So then we stopped playing Overcooked, but that was sad. I should ask her if she wants to play again. But she was really excited because, so she's doing an internship for her graduate school program.
Okay, so she's still in school? I was wondering about that.
So the thing is, so she had finished classes, but she opted to do her internship at the end of the second year instead of at the end of the first. So, the only thing she had left was this internship. And she had to do it for credit. It was, one of those things.
Yeah.
So she just finished her internship, I think, last week. But the same company that she was doing her internship, they had a job opening, and she interviewed for it, and she got the job. So she went straight from intern to full-time employee, though I think she was working full-time as an intern anyways, but now she has all the benefits and stuff. Yeah, I think that started this week.
Oh, wow. That's very recent.
But yeah, she was really excited about it because...
Well, yeah, that's awesome to get a job in this job market.
Yeah, because looking for a job, yeah, she works for it's a health insurance company.
Okay.
But she does data analytics stuff for them.
Cool. Well, did she like her internship?
Yeah. And though, in the interview for the job, everyone was like, "Are you sure you're okay with this?" Because they're all like, "We think you'll get bored and want to leave." That's what they're afraid of.
Yeah.
But she was like, "No, this is perfect. I'm okay with this."
Just okay.
Well, no, she said this is what I want.
Yeah.
Because I guess it's every job has, or at least most jobs have, some amount of repetitiveness to it. Because I guess her job, they run the same reports, I think, every month. So it's every month is a repeat of work.
Gotcha.
But I'm like, well, whatever, that's fine.
Yeah.
So, so she's pretty excited, and she's like, well, maybe, maybe in a couple of years she'll get a house.
Wow, and is this in her hometown?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Because her parents are, not now, but they're considering moving to Florida sometime. Yeah. Probably after Corona, because, Florida's the worst place.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they want to move to Florida at some point. But, she has this job in Michigan, so yeah, she was talking about trying to find a house when her parents move.
Yeah. Maybe her parents would just let her buy the house from them.
It's possible.
For cheap. But maybe, I don't know, maybe she doesn't want to live in the house she grew up in. I could understand that.
Yeah. It's in a nice neighborhood though, because that's what she was saying. She's her commute is short. It's if she were in the office, it's a 15-minute drive. And she said that the neighborhood's really nice. which I've been there. I can confirm. It's nice. So she was saying, she's like, oh, I don't know, like, what kind of neighborhood that she would be in, you know, if she was just buying.
Right.
Zapper's here. It's got some hype elephants. Hype.
All right.
Hi, Zapper.
How are you doing this week, Zapper?
Hanging in there. Same old, same old. Oh, how the days pass in monotony.
Yes.
Rapunzel had it right. Though that is not the Disney...
Rapunzel.
Not the Disney Rapunzel. This is some weird Rapunzel that we watched when we were kids. Same old...
I'm trying to think what the company was called. It was like the something Timeless Tales.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because was that also the Tin Soldier, or is that the Magic Flute?
Not the Magic Flute. I think the Tin Soldier.
Oh, you're right. Magic Flute was with Princess and the Goblin.
Yeah. But yeah, we're doing pretty good, Zapper. I'd say same old with us, too.
What is HBU? Oh,
how about you?
Had to Google it. But when I first Googled it, it was some college. I'm like, no. Yeah, same old. Same old. Millennials. Aren't you a millennial too? Or are you Gen Z? I feel like
I think he's a millennial. You're a millennial, aren't you, Zapper?
I feel like as far as tech goes, I'm more of like a Gen X. Oh, Blossom says HBU is Heartbreak Universe, the fan club for Shawn Michaels. Who's Shawn Michaels? Blossom wants all these labels to go down in a fire. Oh, like the Gen Z and millennials, and yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Because we are not one group.
No.
I mean, in some respects, I could, I could believe some of the stereotypes, but as far as these little text shortcuts, I've never been good with those.
Yeah.
So, but that's all right. I was talking to someone at work the other day, and I was telling them about, because, I went into the office, and, like, my one friend, like, I've only seen her twice now since this whole thing started. So I was talking to her, and I was telling her about how we drove to North Carolina that one time, and we didn't have a GPS, and we didn't have smartphones, and we were just, the GPS we had was, like, kind of broken. And we took all these weird little back roads, and how it was a huge disaster. And she's like, oh, you didn't have smartphones, so this must have been a long time ago. I'm like, no. Because we didn't get smartphones for
this
a really
was in, like,
long time.
what? It was, like, 2015, I think, right?
Yeah, it was 2015. So, yeah, I was like, nope, we didn't.
I wrote down all the directions. I wrote down the directions from Google Maps, and I did it in like a shorthand, and I was write the amount of miles that would be like on a certain road, and then
yeah, it was all on this piece of paper.
And the thing is, like, it's crazy to me, like, it works, like, it's not the most efficient for sure, but it did work. It's not like if you miss your turn, you're kind of just screwed. So don't miss your turn.
Yeah. So I told her how we had gotten lost, and then we had just figured out. I told her how we got pulled over, and how we went over that weird one-way bridge, and like just weird stuff.
It's a lot of fun.
And Blossom says, I was born in 90. I guess I'm a millennial. Each generation has been uniquely clueless. Like Plato, thousands of years ago, was already doing kids these days.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, we were born in 91, so we're right behind you. But yeah, millennials technically, like, I think people who are like 37 or so, like people in their upper 30s are still considered millennials. Yeah. I'm not sure what the cutoff date is, but Yeah, and I think millennials, I don't even know how long they last. Like, is it up until 2000? Or is it like more like 95?
I feel like anyone born after 2000, I'm just like, oh, you're so young. But it's like,
I know.
At this point now they're 20. Like, that's not so young. But definitely in my mind, it's like, it's hard to imagine people that were born after 2000.
Yeah. No, I agree. It is just strange.
Yeah, it's also strange, like, I don't know, just like as I get older, I think about how, like, you know, when I was a kid, if I had said like, oh, this, like if I was introduced to someone who was 28, which is our age, I'd be like, oh my gosh, you're so old and so like adult and mature and stuff. It's like, I don't feel that way at all. And I feel like probably no one really ever feels that way.
Yeah, no, I was thinking something very similar the other day. Because I was thinking about in preschool, we had this one teacher and her name was Debbie. Apparently, our mom said she was like super young, like she was only 19 or something.
I guess
you know that, Cookie?
I would have guessed she was in her low 20s, like maybe 23 or 24 or something.
Yeah, no, she was a teenager.
That's crazy. But Debbie was my favorite.
Well, yeah, because I mean, you can tell she's younger because like the other people were old.
Yeah.
But she still was very much like a grown up.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Debbie.
I mean, when you're a kid, it's like anybody
Wonder
that's...
where she is now.
I know. It's like anybody that's tall. I mean, but like as a kid, like anybody is tall, pretty much. But for me, I was just like, if you're tall, then you must be so old. And yeah, it's always also, it's weird because like, granted, like I don't remember exactly like how I felt when I was 5 years old or whatever. But it's like, as a kid, I always felt like adults don't understand what it's like to be, you know, a 5-year-old or however old I was. Not even like that they don't understand, but just kind of like, oh, they probably don't remember what it was like to be like this or think that this stupid thing is so important. But you do kind of forget, but it's like, I remember more than what I would have thought adults would remember. Even like growing up, like, you know, if a kid in your class does something really stupid, it's like, I remember a lot of things.
I remember making spit bubbles with this one kid in my class.
I remember in first grade, I had Velcro shoes. And have I told you this? I think I must have at some point.
I think you did.
During story time.
I know it. Yeah.
During story time, I would try to like unvelcro them and velcro them and do it as quietly as possible so no one would notice. But I'm sure everybody noticed.
Well, story time was when I did the spit bubbles with the one kid. It was a real bonding experience. But yeah. Kids.
Yeah.
Crazy kids.
Yeah, speaking of kids, though, I wanted to give an update on my big brother, big sister volunteering thing. So, because after I watched the like info webinar thing last week, they gave me like a application to fill out. So it had like a bunch of questions on it and stuff. So I filled that out and I submitted it, and then they said someone will be in contact with you to do your like 2-hour interview. So haven't done that just yet, but
oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say you did.
No, not yet, but it's gonna happen soon. So stay tuned. I will give you guys all a weekly update.
Well, I'm excited to hear about it.
Yeah. But
because I was also looking into the program.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds great. Definitely a different kind of experience. Because, I mean, I've never had a little sister.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't really count for you.
No, I mean, you are I would say you're my slightly younger sister. It's like, yes, I do think there's a difference in mentality between being the older twin versus the younger twin. but I don't think there's that much of,
It's not like I looked up to you.
No. It's not like I ever taught you really cool things. I mean, I probably did at some point, but like, not really cool.
Not something that I couldn't have figured out by myself.
Right.
Yeah. I don't really have anything. Nothing.
Did you watch a movie this week?
No.
Okay.
Because the thing is, we were watching movies on Friday night.
Yeah.
But since we had that friend over and we played tennis and Mandalorian and stuff, we were like, oh, well, we can make Mondays now, or not Mondays, Sundays now, like movie night. And then Sunday night rolled around and we just didn't.
Yeah.
Because Saturday, can't remember what we did on Saturday. Well, we had the friends over and went biking and stuff, but I don't think we watched a movie that night. But we are working our way through The Legend of Korra.
All right.
And we're in season 2, and it's kind of, I think we're getting near the end of the season. At least it's all that I can remember happened in this season, so we'll see. But that means we're so close to season 3.
Mm-hmm.
But we're also watching through Scrubs.
Okay.
Because, did you ever watch Scrubs? I don't think
I've
you
never
did.
seen any Scrubs.
Well, Scrubs is really good. I would highly recommend it. I don't know. We're watching it on Hulu. But I'm not sure if it's on Netflix or anything else.
Have you, did you end up watching any of the Tough as Nails show?
No, because I don't have the login information. You didn't send it to me.
It's the same as Netflix.
Oh, well, you could have said that.
Oh, sorry.
Blossom has started Code Geass.
I've never heard of that.
I thought I'd roll my eyes at it because of mechs, but now I'm like, bring on the mechs. What is this?
I have no idea what that is.
Code Geass. Code, is that a typo? Is it like Code Grass? Code Geass. Code
Wavewish loves Legend of Korra. I tried to watch
nice.
Avatar with Kim and Vinny. That's awesome.
Nice.
That's the thing.
I bet Vinny would love it. He's like the perfect age for it.
That's what, because I really want my niece to watch it. She just turned 7, and I'm like, she's like the target audience. And it's like, I love the show, but I know when I watched it when it first aired, I was not the target audience, but I still loved it. But I just feel like
we were a little old.
I just feel like it'd be really magical to be like, the right age for it.
Yeah, 'cause I remember when it first came out and it said movie event, Cookie was like, oh, I'm going to watch this movie.
Yeah, it's just a movie, so like,
Yeah,
what have you got to lose?
Do you want to watch it with me? I'm like, no, I don't think so. But then Cookie watched through it all, and she's like, Bryce, you have to watch this. It's a TV. It's a
TV show. Yeah, that's starting up.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay. So I watched the second episode with her, and I was like, oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, and Wavewish says Vinny's finally the right age for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good. And Blossom, I Googled Code of the, is it geese? Is it pronounced geese? But it's an anime. I've never heard of it. So are the mechs, do they just have like mechanical powers? That looks cool. It's pronounced Giaz or something like that. The plot is a bit hard to explain. In the first episode, this guy obtains a power to manipulate people to do what he wants, and he wants to use this power to avenge his family because in the past, a war had occupied his country. Wow, I'm bad at synopsis. That's fine. All right. So Gias. Is it on any of the streaming sites, or do you have to watch it somewhere else? Because it's always just so convenient if we can watch something on like Hulu or Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
It's on Netflix. Okay, nice. Yeah, our brother had told me to watch, or he recommended the shoot, I can't think what it's called.
One Punch Man?
No, the Brotherhood.
Alchemist?
Yeah. Well, no, is it the Alchemist? Alchemist?
Oh,
Brotherhood?
no, it's not the Alchemist, but yeah, it's... Gosh, why? Now I can't think of what it's called, but yes. I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh!
Wayfish says that Vinny didn't want to watch it at first, but we convinced him to try it out, and now he's always asking when we're going to watch the next episode. That's awesome. I'm glad he liked it. Full Metal. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Blossom. Yes. I was like, I know it's Alchemist, but yeah, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. It's a good one. You should watch it.
Yeah, and actually, I heard that they're bringing Korra to Netflix like really soon, like next month.
Yeah.
Because Avatar is doing so well on Netflix that they're like, oh, we got to get Korra on here too. And I'm secretly hoping that they make a Netflix series for Kyoshi.
Oh,
based
that'd
off
be
the
cool.
books. Like, that would be awesome. But we'll see. Oh, Blossom says next week Korra's coming out. Yeah. Yeah, we're watching it on DVD because are we borrowing it from you, Cookie?
Maybe we lent it to you forever ago.
Yeah, I think you did.
Because I was like, I don't think we have it right now, but like, I know we own it. Yeah.
Well, because I'm pretty sure we don't own it, but yet it's on our shelf. So, but yeah, so Cookie lent it to us. Because I don't like to buy DVDs if I can help it.
I agree with you. I don't want to own anything, I feel, at this point.
Yeah. So because I had seen Korra when it all came out, and I actually watched, I think, season 1 when I was in Australia because I was studying abroad, and I had gotten, a couple of my friends had seen Avatar, but then we introduced Avatar to a couple of our other friends, and then, so like as a group, we all watched Korra. And it was just a lot of fun, though I do prefer Avatar, just because it's more lighthearted. Korra is a little deeper of a show, I guess.
Yeah.
Also, I'm just not as big of a fan. So, Cookie, you asked me who my favorite character was the other day.
Yeah.
I said Jinora.
I do like Jinora.
I like Jinora, but I don't think she's my favorite. But I don't know who is, and that's the problem.
It's like how I don't have a favorite movie right now, and it really bothers me.
Yeah. Like, maybe, like, I like Kaya and Boomy, the other Avatar, or the other Aang and Katara's kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know who my favorite is.
All right, that's fine.
Well, last week I had one of my piano lessons, which it was like my first lesson in a month.
Yeah, how'd it go?
It went all right, but like, so the thing is, like, my teacher was asking me, like, oh, how often do I practice? I said I generally practice on the weekends because during the week we're kind of busy, so I don't usually practice during the week. And he's like, well, you should try and practice during the week. I'm just like, it really doesn't fit in with everything else. So, I don't know. And then part of me was like, well, maybe I should just stop taking lessons because it's expensive. But the thing is, I have gotten a lot better. And the thing is, I could still practice on my own.
Right, you're just probably
lessons.
less likely to do it. But what you could do, because like, I used to do one watercolor painting each week.
Mm-hmm.
But then I kind of stopped once the weather got nice out.
Yeah, the weather
scared me.
You just don't want to stay inside.
Yeah, because I was like,
unless it's really hot, and then you do.
Yeah, because I was looking at it and I was like, well, I want to open up my time to like do things outside or like, you know, just like, because for me, at least, it was like with painting and then also with ukulele, I was kind of like, well, it's summertime and I kind of feel like I should be doing other things right now. But I plan to pick up both of them again in the winter. So you could do that and have piano be like a winter, fall, spring kind of thing.
Yeah, I had considered that too. So maybe I'll send him a message. But the thing is, because he let me borrow one of his piano books before Corona, and I still have it. But the thing is, I really like that book. Because I've played, I think at least one, like, and by one piece, it's like there's 3 movements in it. So like I've done one full piece and then like I started another piece. So like I really like that book, and granted I could just buy myself a copy of it. Like I don't have to keep his, but I should return it if I am going to take a break.
Yeah.
Because I could just say like, oh, like let's pick back up in October or something.
Yeah.
But just because like with me trying to do yard work and, you know, taking advantage of the good weather, paddleboarding, golfing, whatever, it's like, it's hard to find an extra, you know, couple half hours. Because I usually practice for a half hour to 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So like if I'm doing that 3 days a week, like that's a lot of time. But yeah, because I would usually do Saturday, Sunday, and then I would try and find, you know, some time in the middle of the week. But yeah, like I said, it's tough. I'm gonna get myself a little more water. I will be right back.
Oh, my Glarus is here, tuning into watching Twinning right before they stop. No, actually, I didn't bring my phone over, so I have no idea what time it is. But I don't think we stop at 8. So, and actually, this is the final level, so we might just go until we beat the level.
Depending on how long.
Oh, it's 7:30 already? What?
I told you it's 7:30.
Did you? Oh, well, oops.
That's okay. Well, McLaris, how's everything been going for you?
Everything's pretty much same old with us.
He's glad tax season's over. Oh, I bet. Yeah, because tax season was extended this year.
Yeah.
We still did our taxes in like February. So yeah, it didn't really affect us. I'm just afraid for taxes next year because like I just don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, with the stimulus checks and
yeah, because like Cassie Tiger, he's been working part-time, so he's been getting some money from that whole thing. But I'm just afraid we're just gonna get like taxed up the wazoo.
Yeah.
COVID cases are drastically raising in his area. That sucks. Blossom says, when's COVID 20? I feel like it should be called COVID 20 because it's 2020.
No, but it started in 2019.
Oh, yeah, it's true. Megler says stimulus checks are all tax-free. I hope that's true come next tax season.
I hope so too.
Well, but Cookie, you haven't been affected by that, have you?
What?
You haven't been getting any stimulus so no, there's the stimulus checks, but then there's also the the partial unemployment checks. Oh
yeah, no, because I got the one stimulus check, but and then they're talking about like maybe another one. So the thing is, we had for the first stimulus check, we just kind of like put it in the bank account because we're saving up to buy a house. You know, we'll just kind of keep saving it. But I think if we get another stimulus check, we're just gonna donate all of it because like we're fine. We're both still employed and like we're unaffected by COVID pretty much as far as like money goes. So we decided we will donate all of ours. Assuming if we don't get any, that's fine too. But
where would you donate to?
Probably like the food bank, or maybe to like local businesses. There's like a fund for like local businesses in the city.
Mhm.
So I'm not totally sure, but that's our current plan.
So McLaren says unemployment payment is not tax-free, LOL. Yeah, I didn't think it was. So that's why I'm so afraid.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, we're just gonna get super taxed.
Okay, so I guess I won't get second round of stimulus. But that's good, because when I got the first one, I was like, I shouldn't get this.
Yeah. And then he says, at least that's what Senate Republican leadership is leading towards. You know what's crazy? I saw, and I'm not sure like how accurate the survey was, like whether they polled enough people and whatnot. But like as far as the 2020 election goes, like in Texas, like Biden is really close to beating Trump. In Texas, like that shouldn't happen. But yeah, it'd be cool if it did. I mean, depending on where they polled, like, did you poll in the cities or did you poll like?
That's the thing. I feel like I don't trust any polls ever, because I feel like, yeah, who are they polling? And then also just like, it's probably not representative, or it's only the people that are like really diehard.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't know.
And McLaren says that Texas is on the cusp of becoming a Democratic state and has been for years. I didn't know that, but probably it's because of the cities, I would guess.
Yeah.
Just because their cities are so big. But yeah, I didn't know that. I thought Texas was like a big red state. But that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw. I'm not a Trump supporter. Surprise. But I was walking Ripley the other day, and we walked by a house that had a Trump Pence flag, and I was just like, ugh, like how could you even put that flag up right now? Like after everything recently, like how could you still support him?
I have no, like, it literally blows my mind. Like, yeah. I don't know.
McLaren says Republican strategy understands that and has been spending lots of money on suppressing votes there. They're the worst.
Yeah.
They're not all bad. Mitt Romney voted against Trump for the impeachment thing.
Yeah.
And he did he participated in some of the Black Lives Matter things.
Yeah, which I'm like, good for him, because like seriously, if you're a Republican and you do anything that's like against what Trump says, it's like,
everyone's like, how could you?
Because it's not even like, because like Trump is like pretty, crazy and stuff, but like the crazier thing is that all the other Republicans pretty much are like, yeah, whatever he says. It's like,
I know.
Think for yourself. Like, does this sound like the right thing? I don't know.
Yeah, I was actually, because I was reading about, like, how the Supreme Court has had a few cases recently, and they've become like they voted in favor of being more progressive. And it was all down to like this one guy, because like all the Republicans were voting the Republican way and all the Democrats were voting the Democrat way. And then there's the one Republican guy, and he kept voting the Democrat way because he's like, this is the right way, this is the right thing. I'm like, you go.
Yeah.
And McLaren says most of the Republican states are on the cusp of becoming Democratic states, and that's why it's such a big deal for the weird voting districts and clearing the vote rolls. Polls. I don't know. Also, post office is now delaying ballots in many areas intentionally. That is awful. And Gorsuch, is that the name of the guy?
I have no idea.
I thought it was a different name. I was reading about him. Oh, maybe it was him. Yeah, I think it was someone that, oh, no. No, this is someone else, I think. Because the person I'm thinking of, I think George Bush sworn him in. But this Gorsuch was nominated by Trump. But I'm pretty sure it was a different guy. Oh no, but it says it was him. He leads the way on LGBT rights decision. And I guess it was 6-3 in that case, 6-3. But still,
Yeah.
I'm like, good. People actually voting for what they believe in instead of just following stupid party lines.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm thinking about, I mean, I hate the two-party system. I think it's very silly. And I hate that third parties don't stand a chance. Because, like, when it comes down to it, I'm a Green Party. And it's like they're never going to win. But I'm thinking I'm going to vote Green Party maybe in the election. Because, I mean, like, for New York, it's like, no matter what, it's going to be, like, you know, the Democrat is going to win. So,
yeah.
So I think it'll be okay if I vote Green Party. But then it's like, what if the unthinkable happens? I mean, the way I look at it, it's like, Trump won once when I thought, I was like, no way. And then it happened. So it's like, anything can happen. So,
yeah.
Unless you're a third party.
McLaren says, please don't vote Green Party this election, especially. We need to all vote to do anything or to go to anything anti-Trump. But we all need to be united. We can't all vote for just random people and then Trump still wins.
Well, but it's not random because the thing is, for third parties to get into like the debates and stuff that are televised, you need to have like 5% people to like vote for them in the previous presidential election. So I feel like it's worthwhile. And then also, theoretically, again, don't really know how true it is, but you know, if more people vote Green Party, then whoever wins the presidential election, then they're supposed to be more likely to like do green initiatives because clearly people want that.
Wavefish also says don't assume Trump will lose.
I know, but in New York State, it doesn't matter.
Then why not vote for Biden? Did he announce who his running mate is?
No, he hasn't. I don't know. But the thing, okay, I also wanted, this is like maybe like...
Well, wait, let me just go back a couple in the chat, because McLaren said that Neil Gorsuch has been surprisingly Democratic.
Yeah.
And then John Roberts was the guy who I was thinking. So he's always been a centrist. So he's kind of gone both ways. And then Clarence Thomas has always been very Republican. And then Wavefish says that's exactly what happened in 2016.
Yeah.
Your whole vote for someone different.
Well, no, but this is different than just voting for someone different. Because, like, I voted for Hillary. Everybody I vote for in a presidential election or primary loses. That's the way it goes. So...
Blossom says, if anything, I believe Trump will win. I give up on politics.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Steve Tiger and I Steve Tiger mentioned the other day, he's like, if Trump wins, like, I might seriously want to move to Canada. And I'm like, well, I could try and find a job at their transportation organization. I'm sure they have one.
Yeah. No, the last election, it was... Because McLaren said he didn't vote for Obama. You know what? I actually wasn't... I thought I was registered to vote, and I thought I wasn't going to get an absentee ballot because I was in college. But then I never got an absentee ballot in the mail, so I never actually voted.
I actually did vote for Mitt Romney, and he lost. But looking back, I'm glad that Obama won.
Well, yeah. You know, the thing is... Because where we grew up, everything is very conservative. So,
it is. But, you know, I mean... Though, based on what Mitt Romney's done in the past, like, you know, during this whole year and stuff, like, I still think he would have been a decent president. Way better than Trump.
I feel like, I mean, at this point...
A sitting duck would have been better.
Really, anybody is better than Trump.
Yeah. McLaren says, honestly, there are much better ways to advocate for third-party systems, which I do think should be done.
Yeah.
Which says, assume nothing, Cookie. These are crazy times. We can't take anything for granted.
They are super crazy.
And also for Blossom, also it's super weird to me that we still have to go to polling locations to vote. Why hasn't mail-in votes via actual mail or electronically been normalized? I don't know. But like, didn't some states say like they've been doing it for years and it's still like, and for them it's normal? But I don't know. I signed up for absentee ballot for this year.
Yeah.
I also had to leave the cult of the...
No, I know. That's true. That's true, Blossom.
Well, Meglaris, we were also indoctrinated into the cult of conservatism.
Yeah. But Blossom says, don't say anyone is better than Trump, which, I mean, okay.
Oh,
which
true.
I completely agree with, which is why, like, because during the Democratic debates, you know, for the primary, like, so many people were being like, okay, you know, it's like any of us would be better than Trump. And I'm like, yeah, but to me, like, Biden is one of the least exciting prospects. Like, I wanted someone that was going to really make waves, which, of course, the country's not going to, like, be super excited about someone making waves. But that's what I wanted. And
no, but
Biden doesn't really do it for me, but it's like he's our, you know, the Democrat. So.
No, but Cookie, I heard that Biden met with Bernie and some other more, you know, more progressive Democrats. And so they were helping him come up with a platform that's more like a little further left than where he currently is.
Yeah.
So hopefully that like went well.
But I was going to say something about the vice president thing, because Biden said during one of the debates that his vice president, like, running mate is going to be a woman. Like, he said it's going to be a woman. And I'm like, I'm all for that. But at the same time, it's like, please just pick whoever's the most qualified. Like, I don't, like, of course I would like for there to be a woman in the White House, but...
No, I think having women would be good because you need the differing opinions.
I agree, but I think I would rather just whoever's the most qualified, that's who I want.
But I'm thinking that now he might be thinking that, I mean, he could go back on that statement because he might be wanting to have a black VP so that...
that's also true.
You know, to further, you know, show the importance of Black Lives Matter kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, and so there's a discussion about Pence. Yeah.
No, yeah, he's pretty bad. Yeah.
He's bad.
Maybe worse than Trump. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the debate going on.
Yeah. Definitely he's not a good option either.
Yeah. Meglaris said that Iowa has had absentee ballots for 20 plus years and it's always been very well done. His local city council members contact everyone in their district too to see if they want one. That's good. Blossom says that he agrees with Cookie. It's cool we got Obama, but only because he was a smart, well-spoken man. The fact he was black doesn't really matter much to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he was very well-spoken.
Yeah. Which is like...
And smart.
Yeah. I mean, I've said this before to Rice, but it's like, as far as having like the first black president, he was like the best you could have hoped for. Mm-hmm. Like, just very smart and very like, I don't know. I listened to his autobiography, or actually no, it was actually Michelle Obama's, but like she talked about Barack a lot, and I was just like, you know what, you guys are great. But you know, I will say, I was even thinking I should probably listen to Trump's just to be like fair, you know.
No, did you
I mean, he's a monster.
So my news podcast told me about Trump's, I think, niece. So like her father.
Oh, I know she's writing a book.
Yeah. Yeah. So in the book, she's like, he's a horrible man and this is why. And she's like, I'm voting for Biden. But so in the book, apparently, like, so her dad was not as like cutthroat business type person like Trump was.
Yeah.
So her dad kind of got like pushed off to the side, and whereas Trump got like all of the praise and stuff from because she said it's all her grandfather's doing, is why Trump is how he is.
Yeah.
But I thought that might be an interesting read. McLaren said that Obama was super cool. He met him when he was a state senator for Illinois in 2004. Got his first beer from him when he was 18. That's cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I mean, I don't like beer, but that's very cool. And Blossom says, on the other hand, it's kind of weird and sad that America treats a woman president as some major milestone when other countries have already had women leaders for decades. When it does happen, I'm not going to celebrate because it's like you join the rest of the world, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
Quote of the day. You know what? You guys are great. That's you, Cookie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Meglaris also doesn't care for beer, except that it's a neat story. Yeah. I would take a beer if it was from Obama. Yeah. And true, very true, Blossom, because, like, Germany, at least, I don't know if it's right now or in the past, like, recent history, they have a woman president. And, like, Margaret Thatcher, granted, she's not president per se, prime minister, but she was from like the 80s.
Also, the right now the New Zealand president is a woman, and she's like awesome.
She did awesome at COVID. Yeah.
Also, one of the things that I was like, that's really cool was so there's a picture on like some like news thing in New Zealand where she had just had her baby, and so like she's leaving the hospital and she had the baby in her arms. The like father of her baby, not her husband, they're not even, maybe they're dating, I don't know, but anyways, like he was there, and it's just like it wasn't such a like huge scandal or like a big news. It was just like, oh, by the way, the prime minister just had a baby. It's like they didn't make a big deal about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's because New Zealanders are just so cool. McLaren said that he and Obama were at the same summer barbecue and he was handing out drinks and talking to folks. That's really
crazy.
Cool. Very cool. And Blossom also doesn't drink beer. But if Obama or Sanders offered him one, he'd be like, sure, why not?
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
McLaren said Merkel has been a president for a while, too. Who's Merkel?
I don't know. Oh, Germany's president.
Oh, Germany, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I knew Germany's president was a female. I just didn't know her name. But yeah, she's a PhD in bioscience of some kind. That's cool. And Blossom says Merkel. You know, Steve Urkel's wife. Yeah. Well, when McLaren said Merkel, my first thought was, did he mean Markle, like Meghan Markle? But I'm like, no, she's a duchess, but not anymore because of Megxit. So,
yeah. I didn't hear about that one.
You didn't hear about Megxit?
No, I mean, I knew that like they were stepping down or whatever, but that's pretty much the extent of my knowledge of it.
So I Googled it because I kept seeing tabloids at the grocery store about it, and I'm like, what is this? Like, what's happening? So apparently, Meghan didn't want their son to grow up in the whole like royalty thing.
Yeah.
Like with that kind of upbringing. So they just left and moved to Canada.
Oh, they're in Canada now. I didn't know that.
They're in Canada.
Cool.
Yeah. And Blossom says, dear God, imagine a U.S. politician having a degree in science. That would be crazy.
That is, yeah.
Instead of just political science. And Wavewish says that Obama was by far the coolest president. Yeah. Oh, Megler said it's a PhD in quantum chemistry. Very interesting. Yeah, I would never want to be president.
Oh, you know, Rice, did I tell you? I don't think I did, because I told you that Argus was maybe looking into like postdoc positions
In Colorado?
in Michigan and Colorado. So there's another one he was told about that's in Germany.
Oh,
So
that would be so cool.
I don't know, like, again, I don't know the chances of him like getting it, but so who knows? Maybe I'm moving to Germany.
That would be cool. I would definitely visit. I mean, I would be more excited if it was a different country. I mean, just because we've been to Germany.
No, and also I had told you about how my ranking of Germany was like one of the lowest of the countries I visited because like the food really brought it down.
Yeah. No, but I've heard that Berlin food is like a foodie place. Like
Okay.
Berlin,
I mean, the thing is, like, of course, you don't have to go to every restaurant and get like German food.
You don't have to do the German food.
You know, we went to that one Mexican restaurant. Like, there's other options, so like it would be fine.
Oh, Cookie, I want to tell you another travel thing because so my travel podcast. Now that I'm all caught up, like whenever a new episode comes out, it's really special because I don't have just like a huge backlog of them.
Yeah.
But so she's interviewing this woman who had been on the road for like 15 years. So like she's been to like a whole bunch of different places. So anyways, it's like this episode and the next episode are all about like where to go in each month. And so
that's cool.
For each month she picks a big trip, a festival, or like some kind of seasonal thing. And then she picks a US trip. So like if you didn't have the time or the budget to do one of the bigger trips.
Yeah. So
the one for February, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is what I want to do.
Okay, let's hear it. Is this the first one?
What?
Like, is this the first one you've heard about? And you're like, oh yeah, I'm doing that one.
No, I mean, so anyways, all of her trips, so like she's kind of strays away from the really big places that are touristy. So she like does more of like 4th and 5th tier cities and like those kind of experiences. And so like, granted, I'm doing all of this as I'm working, so I don't get to hear everything, but I did go onto her website because she had a free version of it, so you could just see it all at once instead of having to listen to it.
Yeah.
But I thought, so February, cold, and a lot of times I look to go somewhere warm, but she highly recommended going to Fairbanks, Alaska.
Ah, okay.
And
Northern Lights?
So Fairbanks is very inland, so she said that it doesn't have the like the clouds that a lot of the coastal cities have. Mm-hmm. So I guess if you're in Fairbanks and you stay there for 3 nights, I think your chance of seeing the Northern Lights is like 80%.
Oh, wow.
Like, it's really good. And she said when she went, she did this, and I had seen this when I was looking into Norway too, but like she did this dog sled thing, and like she was riding dog sleds for like a whole day. And I'm just like, this just sounds so awesome. And like, I was just like, it just sounds so cool. Yeah, and I don't remember the other trips she had listed. One of them, I think also for February, and I've thought about doing this anyways, is the Winter Festival in Quebec City.
Okay.
Because that's in February, and it's like this giant thing. But I mean, the thing is, like, I'm not big into winter sports, so like, so I probably wouldn't enjoy it as much as somebody who is really big into winter stuff. Oh, I was gonna say though about the Fairbanks thing, is that she said that flight tickets that time of year are so cheap, and I was like, are they really? So I Googled it. You can fly round trip to Fairbanks for like $400.
Wow.
Yeah, and I actually think one of the tickets was like $370 or something. Like, it was so cheap to go up to Alaska at that time, and I'm like, wow. The thing is, I do also want to go to Alaska, because I know I talked about this on stream a few weeks ago. I do also want to go in the summer because I want to see the salmon.
Yes.
Since I'm just all about the salmon.
I think it'd be really cool to go and just experience the like 24 hours of sunlight. Maybe it's not full 24 hours, but like, you know, the sun's out. That's I think it'd be really cool to just go and see that.
Yeah. Yeah, Megler said a few years ago a buddy of his flew round trip to Paris and New York City first class for $600. First class.
Wow.
That's crazy.
You know, it's on my bucket list to fly first class sometime.
I think it's on mine too.
But it's so expensive.
Just to experience it. No, what you need to do is you just need, you know, some kind of reason to get bumped up to first class. Like, I think the key is to have an economy ticket and then get bumped up.
I see.
So I don't know what kind of condition or, like, you know, how you could get that to happen.
Right.
But I bet you could do it. McLary said there's a really interesting cheap flight emailing list that throws where flights are dirt cheap. And his mom regularly upgrades to first class if they're open, usually $50 or $75 at the flight.
Wow.
All right. So yeah, if there's an
That's a good tip, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Because that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, just like experience it.
Especially for a long flight. Like, imagine if they had a first class seat open for a 6-hour flight.
Yeah.
That would be so much more comfortable.
Yeah, it'd be worth the investment.
Yeah. Yeah, she always just asks if there are any available. Cool, good to know. Yeah, so February, maybe I'll go to Alaska.
All right.
But I always have all these plans, but, you know, coronavirus might still be around in February, so, you know.
I'm going to assume it will be.
I know. Me too. It's just sad.
Mm.
And Megler said she says the most it's ever been was $150, and the cheapest was she's been given them for asking. Cool. So yeah, even if they have one available and it costs $150 and you don't think it's worth it, you could just say, I'll just keep my economy ticket.
Yeah.
How is our battle going?
Good. Very good.
Because I haven't been paying
attention.
attention.
That's okay. Yeah, it's going good. I assume we're like getting into the final stretch here.
I mean, it looks like it.
So, I mean, the fact that those 3 like eyeballs just, cause like, so.
Yeah, I saw they just came out.
Yeah, so I feel like we must be getting close. We gotta kill this one. It's just kind of like over on its own, and it hasn't really been doing anything.
Why are all those people just sitting there?
Because they're attacking. They're, you know, they've been slowly marching.
Okay. Hilaire says, I'm not sure how tall you guys are, but Mom always thinks it's always worth it because she's 6'3". Yeah, so we're not quite that tall. We're like 5'9", 5'10"-ish. I truly don't know how tall I am because I've always said 5'10", but then I'm always like, well, did I just make it up? Because Cookie says she's 5'9".
I think I'm 5'9".
Yeah, so I truly don't know. I should have them get my height. The thing is, like, a lot of times they don't even, like, when I was a kid, they were always like, oh, take off your shoes and we'll do your height and your weight. But, like, now, whenever I go to the doctor, they're like, just jump on the scale.
I know.
Keep your boots, keep your winter coat on.
I know, whenever, because, like...
And I'm like, what?
I have doctor's appointments in the winter. So I'm, like, wearing my snow boots. I've got my winter coat. I've got this heavy purse on. And then, like... Yeah, they're like, get on the scale. I'm like, oh, great. I'm going to gain, like... And it doesn't even matter, but, like, still, it kind of bothers me.
Yeah, I think one time when I did have my boots and stuff on, they're like, oh, you gained 5 pounds. I'm like, are you sure it's not just the boots and the coat?
That's why, because I had a doctor's appointment today, just, like, a virtual one. And so I was like, oh, because she asked me if I, like, monitor my health. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, do you, like, take your pulse, your blood pressure, your weight? I'm like, yeah, I'll weigh myself like once every couple weeks. And so she's like, well, how much do you weigh? And so I said like what the scale's been telling me. Granted, I don't know if my scale is accurate. And then she's like, oh, it looks like you lost weight. And I'm like, yeah, maybe. But I did tell her, I was like, but I was like, whenever, because my appointments are always in the afternoon, like after lunch. It's like, when I'm at home, I weigh myself in the morning, like, before I eat anything. And so,
Yeah,
don't know.
that's funny. Yeah, I used to, back when I gave blood a whole bunch, they asked me to give blood the other day, and I'm like, no, I'm not going out of the safety of my home to give blood.
I actually
Granted, like if there was some way for me to give blood from home, I would. But yeah, I'm like, there's no way I'm going out there and giving blood, risking myself, and then lowering my own immune system. I'm like, no, I can't do this. But so back when I was donating blood, they always take your blood pressure, so I always knew what it was. But now I don't.
Yeah.
So I haven't been exercising quite as much as what I used to, so I don't know. My pulse is still low though, so I feel like my fitness isn't horrible. I did actually run with Ripley this morning.
Oh.
And by run, I mean jog slowly, because Ripley does not have the best endurance. So, yeah, so we ran, and I think I'm going to try, if I have the motivation, I'm going to try and make it like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday thing, is do like a little run with her in the morning, just for cardiovascular health for myself.
Yeah.
Because even though it's only like, 15, 20 minutes, it's still, if it's 3 times a week, that's 45 minutes 45 minutes of cardio that I wouldn't usually do.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I have other cardio things I can do, but I don't usually work that hard, whereas running, even if I'm running slow, my pulse still gets pretty high.
I mean, running's like the worst.
Yeah.
All right. We are like getting really close, I think.
Good.
I just have to like work up the courage. Like the dragon's scary, so I just have to work up the courage to like put someone within its range and see if they'll get attacked.
Could you put like someone who has a range attack and be out of the dragon's range?
Well, because the dragon has a big range. None of my people have that good of a... Oh no, is he gonna keep making these little eyeballs?
He probably is. Can you kill them all in one turn?
No, because my people are too far away from it.
Yeah, Argus says don't count those chickens before they hatch.
I know. I like counting the chickens.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Let's see. Because maybe if I just put like a bunch of people within range of the dragon. Because it looks like it's got like a magic sort of attack. So the thing is, you want to put someone in there that has good magic and regular defense. Like his is really good.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like all the way up there. What about... Where's this good? Where's this good? Well, we'll just throw her in there. She's a tank, so...
Yeah.
Maybe we'll put her here.
So close to a level up.
I know. Sorry, what time is it?
8:07.
Okay. That's not too bad, but we can stop, and I don't have to beat it today.
No, but this is hopefully I guess we could just pick up here and then, switch to a different game next time.
Oh no, I'd probably just beat it off stream so that, it's done.
Yeah, but what if we want to see the end?
I feel like most of our viewers don't care.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sad. Of course she's in range.
Megalaris absolutely cares.
Aw, thanks, Megalaris.
I think we could save and then pick it up next time, and then we'll finish it.
We're so close.
Meglaris has been watching us beat this game for weeks. Well, Cookie's been playing a fair amount off stream, too. She's been a real champ.
Got to, otherwise, you know, this game would take even longer.
Argus is not as close as you might think, so there's probably some other thing that
Like, do we have to
happened.
go into the castle? Because I was kind of thinking that might be the case.
So let's just save here.
Well, what if we just beat this part? He does a lot of damage, the dragon.
Yeah, he's a dragon. But I think we should stop because I want him to eat my yogurt with cherries
Okay. We can do that. Let me just
before
finish...
before it gets too late.
Let me just finish moving people into some sort of formation. Okay. So I guess maybe we'll beat this next time then.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you all for watching.
Yeah, we'll be back next week. We're gonna beat this game next time.
Yep. And everybody stay safe. Wear a mask when you go out.
Social distance.
Social distance.
Yeah. Thank y'all for watching.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.